Hi guys, Digital Critiquer here. Have you ever wondered and thought, well, artificial intelligence, it's such a highly mentioned word nowadays, and people are constantly doing it and using it in order to make their business much more efficient and basically not do all the tedious things that take a lot of time and energy, um, and just have the robot, the AI, do it for you. Well, here I got a couple courses for you that I would highly recommend. That I'm going to show you over the shoulder of what's involved with them and what you can do in order to take the best out from what they teach and be able to take your businesses and integrate them with AI. And those of you who are a little skeptical about AI, trust me, you want to miss out on this opportunity, because with artificial intelligence, you have the potential to, like I said, save a lot of money, save a lot of headaches, and it's these opportunities, learning these things allows you to have essentially staff that work for you 24/7, and you don't have to pay a single dime, only just for licenses and access to things like ChatGPT, which, as you may know, ChatGPT is like $20 a month, so pretty affordable. And like I said, it does everything for you, as you probably know. But how can you integrate it into your own systems, and just in general, how can you automate different things? That's what we're going to show you through these couple of courses. One of them is the Hexona automation incubator. And as you may know here, this is a digital course and offered by a top individual named Hamza Baig. And he's right here. He is like the number one automation individual in, like, I think, in North America. He's provided so much success for his clients and all that. And I just thought I'd promote this opportunity because I just recently landed a client, and I make a lot of potential helping out businesses and so on and so forth, and giving that leverage. And right now in 2025, that leverage, in order to beat your competition, is really automation and AI. So what does it involve, this course? I'll tell you this. Well, it is basically it's set up through school, which school is a like kind of like a Facebook group-ish, sort of Slack-ish, Slack sort of interface, where combined together interface where you can like engage with different other people who are enrolled in the course, as well as reaching out to individuals. And you got the whole shebang of the course, like the introduction, like what is AI, what is like he tells you his story and all that, and through real-time videos. And then you can actually do like different homework assignments and engage with like I said, the community. The community's right here. You could just reach out. It's just like a Facebook or whatever. You just type in a question, and oftentimes you'll get a response. Or if you want a success, a win, or so on and so forth, that's what you can do. You can kind of label that as the type of post you're going to do and filter them accordingly. What about the classroom? So classroom here, like I said, is the introduction. What is the course about? Followed by agency setup. You got your whole like setting up with this CRM platform called GoHighLevel. But what's nice about this course that Hamza gives you access to is that he kind of like customizes GoHighLevel, which, if you know GoHighLevel, it's like I said, it's a automation platform, CRM, but it's like $200 something a month for the license. But with this course, you get if you're able to the course is actually complimentary if you get the license to the program, to the customized software of GoHighLevel. So in other words, GoHighLevel is kind of like a customized version of, no, I sorry. Hexona is a customized version of GoHighLevel. That's what I mean to say. So what is it exactly? So here's my access to this platform. It is like I said, there's a dashboard. It's a CRM that you can basically set up for your clients and so on and so forth. I got one here, for example. Automate, like I'll go into this client's platform, create, like, you can set up calendar notice appointments. So if you're booking customers or whatever, if you're like a laundromat, if you're in the I guess, plumbing industry or like consulting. I think this would be really focused on consulting, lawyer. You can set up a whole calendar for this, especially if you, and also if you're a digital marketer, this is huge. What about the contacts here? Contacts, you basically can add them through a lead scraper like Zoom, info, D7 Lead Finder, so on and so forth. Just add them accordingly like this and import contacts, or you can do them manually yourself if you have particular ones. But just for time's sakes, and if you want to do it en masse, like I said, the most effective way is to have like an Excel spreadsheet of some sort, get it imported from a platform like D7 Lead Finder. As you may know, I don't get paid for them, but I have an account with them, and also Zoom.info. That is another one, and I highly oh wait, sorry, not wrong one. Zoom info. So this one right here, this is like a lead scraper. So I highly suggest you take a look at those and be able to delve in obtaining those leads, and then you can upload it here into your interface, which the CRM that you get access with Hexona, with Hamza, Baig's course. And what's great about it is like you can actually categorize these leads. Like if as soon as you implement them, you can like add them as contacts and so on and so forth, like as your pipeline. So you can customize a pipeline, which that's what other softwares like Zoho do and all that. But here's the great thing about Hexona and GoHighLevel. It allows you to do it all in one. And the reason I'm saying Hexona is particularly in this case as opposed to like other ones is because, like I said, if you want to have everything all in one, you're able to do that with this platform as opposed to something like Zoho. Zoho will only do other things, and I think it's more expensive. Like with Hexona license, which is, like I said, the customized version of GoHighLevel, it's only $82 a month for the license access. And what's even nice is like if you pay for $25 a month as well, in addition, you get access to a support agent. It's 24 hours staff. So, but I've had a little bit of trouble with some staff. So I'd say it's like a hit or miss in terms of support. Like I rated a 3 out of 5. Just my opinion. And what about payments? Well, here's the thing: you can access your payment status and be able to automate subscriptions, projects, so on and so forth. Invoice your clients, like if you do like a clientele like the consulting, or if you're a digital marketer, this is probably an awesome platform for a digital marketer. You can just hit up invoices and just like be able to send them. So I think I've made them on this platform on my main account. You go here, you go to I think it was integrations. You have to integrate your Stripe. So just so you know, Stripe is a transactional platform like PayPal, but it tends to work more fluidly and more effectively if you do it through Stripe. Just so an FYI, you got to have a Stripe in order to be able to charge your clients or whatever more easily. That's what I would suggest. What about what about the platform here, the subscriptions? Okay, so this I thought I had made it, but like you can create like certain invoices and different templates and all that sort. That's awesome. What the great thing about this, um, I would suggest first onboarding and then creating. That's what I would do. You got your AI agents. So those of you who don't know, creating AI agents is huge, especially since like you have the ability to like automate, get people on the phone. But oftentimes people, it's expensive to get, support, representative operators, so on and so forth. But with this, you see, you can actually set it up and create your voice AI and qualify leads to your contact who's the closer, which I would assume is an individual. So just have the agent automated, you pick up the phone, and then like they say, how may I help you, and so forth. You set it up like this. Like I'll just do this quickly on the fly just to show you. You can pick your language, you can pick like the type of voice, so on and so forth. And then of course you got your agent name, and then just to be consistent, time zone, and then say, how may I help? Hey, you have reached the next level. How can I? So you can just update it. How can I assist you today? I'll just change to show you how you can just do it easily. And then you data collect. So details, you can edit that accordingly, and then switch it if you wanted to add more advanced mode. And then basically give under the option of which person receives the email notification of X person. I should note that with the AI phone, you gotta be careful. It is extra. They charge about $1.25 for a phone, but like with how many minutes, you get roughly around 14 cents. So here's my suggestion, and I haven't gone through this yet, but like the best way to do this for free, to use this Hexona without paying extra, is doing email. And I say that because email doesn't have all these extra procedures you have to go through, and you're able to send it off the bat. You just got to connect it through this platform. And how do you do that? Well, first off, you got to go to settings, and then you got to go to your profile, and I can go through the whole settings platform and all that, but like you basically got to connect an Outlook or a Gmail, and it must be a domain email, because otherwise you're going to get spammed and go through this whole hassle of like not receiving, just sending out emails en masse. And trust me, you don't want to go through that. It's nothing but headache. And you may say, okay, how do I go about sending emails in the first place? Well, first of all, you have to connect it. You have to connect your through your record SMPT file. So go here, service, SMT, and then depending on what you're doing, I did like Outlook, and you got to submit this information. It's pretty straightforward, but you got to make sure that this option shows up and that it's an add a domain. Don't do like a Gmail, because trust me, it'll be nothing but headaches. So that's just a quick on the fly how to set up your email, but like how do you actually send them out? So here's how you do it. I created a platform here on the here. Let me try here with my client. You go to automation. You go to intro. So automation, basically like a platform part of the dashboard where you are able to set up sequences and logic. So if those of you who did computer programming, coding, probably know that there's a certain methodology to how things are processed, and computers aren't, well, they're getting better, but they used to be like, well, more binary, and now it's more like you got to be able to give logic to your steps for the computer to follow, or the AI. And the CRM here is no different. So in order to do that, I had to set up a trigger. A trigger is basically like a tag of some. It could be like a contact tag. It can be a reminder, so on and so forth. DND, a task of completion, whatever you want. The course by Hamza here explains it to you in much more detail. You can. I think that it would be best to go through automation basics, because this is where you have the option to do design flow, automation flow charts, and really just to think through your processes. I'll probably do a separate video on this, because this is a whole other video that deserves to be made in of itself. But what's great about this course, you see, is that you have online access. You can access through email support. And like I can reach out to the person who started the course maker in the first place, Hamza, and like ask him questions, and he's pretty responsive, which is kind of an unusual thing for most courses. And he's got an assistant as well, which helps you on more technical side of things. But what's great about his course, going back to his course, is that it's interactive. You do homeworks, you fill them in, you complete them, and they check it for you. They give you feedback within probably a week or something. But like, that's the beauty of this course here, is that you are able to be engaged, and they check to make sure you're engaged. Oh, also, I should note, like when you're enrolled in the course, you submit an email now that when you pay. What's great about it is like they have a once a week onboarding call for those of you who are enrolled. I think you have to be invited, but like you get this notification. It's on Google Meet, and you're able to get involved and ask questions and all that sort through. Because I'm sure there's a lot of questions. I'm still going through a lot of questions, things I have on my mind that I need answering. You have emails, you have support, like I said, that you can do on a Zoom for more technical things, but be sure that you have to pay $25 a month to get the hear this little chat bot thingy. In order to do it, otherwise you won't get it. What else? Going through that makes sense a lot. What about you see? Yeah, so that's homework, filling out the homework. Um, Also, you have the option to log in, check your homework, submit it, and then later on, as you get the hang of things, you can because this is a GoHighLevel platform. So, as you may know, GoHighLevel is a like I said, it's a software program that's very sought after. It's really good. Like I said, it's just $200 a month for the license. But with Hamza's Hexona, which is a customized version of GoHighLevel, you're able to do this at $80 a month, give or take. I think it's 90, but like they'll give you like a coupon code of some sort. Anyways, here, where was I? I lost my track. As you could see, I lost my camera. Anyways, here I am. Here I am. Here I am. So I just had some glitch. So anyways, going back to the automation, they're going to explain this to you in the course, but to give you a quick rundown, it's really about sequencing and adding emails. Like if you wanted to add emails, make sure to have an email step. And you have all sorts of steps and ways to go about communicating and reaching out to your clients. You have and sequencing your automations, creating your automations. Make sure that you test them out with yourself. But these are all of them. As you say, these are all the contacts. So, like, what triggers the initiation of this of this workflow? They workflows are basically like the whole shebang of these sequences, and you have the option of that communication. Communication. You make sure you send the add this in order to actually have the emails get triggered. Um, you got to make sure that all this is filled out accordingly. I'm going to go through this in another video, but that's basically the rundown with how to make sure email is included. And there's all sorts of other things that they're rolling out. WhatsApps, if you want to stick WhatsApp, like I said, Instagram, SMS, Slack. So, and then you got sending data. So how does it work? Like, do you want to submit like your Google Docs, Sheets, or whatever? Some of the things are premium, I should note. So there's like 3 levels to this course, and I'm glad this little crown brought this up to me. Right now, I'm enrolled in the level 1, but there's 3 levels of tiers for this course. Automation Incubator, that is Hamza's course, and level 1 is just basic access to the automations, like I mentioned, what I am showing you right now. Level 2 and 3 is more upgraded, advanced. I'd highly suggest just start out with the first one because, trust me, there's a lot to learn in and of itself with level 1. And you get access to this guy anyways. And this course is phenomenal, to say the least. And I should know, and here's that licensing with GoHighLevel. So I just want to make it clear, Hexona, and this is something that wasn't clear to me in the beginning, Hexona Systems is a white labeled version. So just make it clear, a white labeled version of GoHighLevel, which GoHighLevel is a software, like I said, CRM software. It integrates AI, automation, and everything all into one. And that's really what it comes down to. So you got that all in one, and then as soon as you get, for example, emails are already set in play, and as you can see, I already sent the automation, I created it, and all that sort went through. Now you got to go to contacts, and what I mentioned earlier, when you add the contacts, you got to make sure that they're added carefully. So once you add them, though, you got to make sure that tags are in there as well. So What do I mean by that? When you go through your automation sequences, you're going to want to be tagging these things because the tags are kind of like your indicator, your green light in the workflows that you create that says, okay, you can initiate the process. You actually send the email or so on and so forth. And what do I mean by that? So as I was saying with the first tag here, or the first part of the workflow, there's always some sort of trigger. And the triggers could be like a tag. It could be another thing too, like a reminder, so on and so forth. But contact tag is kind of like what I've been using because you're able to add that into the software to indicate, okay, I want a certain group of contacts to be reached out to and to initiate in the workflow, in this workflow, for example. And I picked this tag, for example, because I had contacts on here, like this guy, these people, they all have the same tag. And this alone, if this doesn't have the tag, you're not going to, the process, the workflow isn't going to initiate. In other words, I'm not going to be able to send the emails to these people. However, if the tag is included, the email does go through and the workflow does go through. And in my case, because the workflow includes an email step, which is what you probably want to do if you want to save some money. As you can see right here, right? This is an email step. You just got to add it. Simple as that. Just go here. And then you go to add, send email. That's it. And boom, you just got to make sure that this tag is added, and then your contacts are going to be immediately reached out to. One thing I should note, do not send all at once a ton of emails because you're going to get spam marked as spam. I had to learn that the hard way. How I would do it is I would drip it out. So send 5 or so emails every 30 minutes to your list if you have like 100 and something or 200 or more in your contact. And when I say contacts, I mean like the particular tag that you had indicated. Because like your automation here, it works on a tag basis. And I'm going to create, like I said, another video that goes through more on detail of what this involves because I don't think it's enough. This video alone won't do you a service in explaining everything involved in this, in my opinion. So as you can see, you can only add one tag at a time, and that's something to keep in mind because like you don't want to accidentally send the wrong group the wrong message because this is only one setup I have, but you could have multiple workflow lists here, multiple automations for particularly meant for particular contacts. And those contacts, whether the email, phone, whatever, I'm just showing you through email for now because the phone way is more, I guess, of a headache to say the least. But like you can only add one tag, I think, to each, you can add multiple tags, but like I would suggest start with one to make life a little easier for you, and that way you don't send the wrong information to the wrong contact. Like in other words, they get the information they are meant to receive. Okay, so enough of email. What about phone? So phone here, and all this stuff is a little complicated. I'll go through this in another video, but if you go to A2P, so those of you who are in the United States, you can't just be sending SMS texts or messages through people randomly. You have to go through a whole procedure of sending a form and making sure that you register your phone number in order to have it go through and not be reported and basically have consequences and fines, paying lots of money, hundreds of dollars. With A2P, you have the option to do this through phone. And why I say that is because, well, as you can see from the contacts, their phone number was included. But also here, you have the option to add SMS or, for example, phone to reach out to them via phone. But you have to have some sort of like automation, like making sure that they opt out. Because if you don't do that, again, that's whole against the law procedure. If you're outside of the U.S., disregard everything I'm saying for the most part on phone. It should be easier. But I say this because when you add phone, you got to make sure like you submit a particular form and it's called A2P. And here you can actually register a phone number, go through. By the way, you don't have to have a phone number through this Hexona. Like what's nice about this course and this business, this platform, is that you can actually just add it through here. And as I told you before, it's around $1.26. I mean, and you just set it up, and they'll handle it for you. The support, you just reach out to support or through email at support@hexonasystems.com, and boom, you got no issues. You're able to get that taken care of. I want to give you this advanced notice though. Doing this whole setup, whether you're doing it through here or you're importing a phone from another, like phone burner, or your personal phone, we got to make sure that the carrier is in align with it. You got to make sure that you fill out this A2P form and that it goes through the 2-week verification process, 2 to 4 weeks. So that's why I was telling you first and advising you first to do email, because if you do phone, you're ending up taking longer and it's more headaches. And on top of it, it's not free, more or less. But with email through this platform, you're able to do it. They teach you this in the course here, but I'm just going through this because this is where I'm at in the course. And I think it's important for you to understand this. So going back to the course, so I just gave you a little bit of a top rundown of what's involved with the platform. So I just want to go through the course briefly before we call this a day with this video. So building automation, as you may know, it's like the next level that you go through, and they go through all sorts of trainings and all that they'll cover as well. Give you a review on about what Hamza teaches and what you can do with businesses or your own agency for that matter. And like I said, another homework, you can actually integrate what's called your Instagram, and you could set it up so that way, like, you can actually get like automation involved with your like DMs or so on and so forth. And how I was able to do that, for example, is I did that with my Instagram, and I was able to set it up where like you go to I think it was okay, never mind. It was here as through another automation I set up. Instagram, I just set it up here. It triggered. I connected with my ChatGPT, which I don't think you need your API or whatever code you need from your license, but you're able to connect it through and set up like different messages you could send, and they teach you this in the course. It's one of the homeworks actually. And support can actually do this for you. So I basically for one of the homeworks, made it so that every direct message in Instagram is like a joke. Like you can trigger it so that every time you receive a DM on your Instagram that you sync, which you have to integrate first. So I'm going to show you that in a little bit. But you can make it so that every time you send a message or whatever, they'll turn into a joke, and voila, that's your response. And that's kind of like the little assignment thing. And I was able to do that with my Instagram because, like, first of all, I went to integration. I went here, integration, and I had to connect my Facebook account. But before you do connect your Facebook account, I should note that you need to make sure that it's synced with that, like your Instagram is also connected. So your business page isn't like shown blank, because if your Instagram isn't connected to your Facebook and your business Facebook page, you're gonna have like either a blank or it's not gonna show your Instagram. It's not gonna work. That's why you have to do the whole connection, which I'll show in another tutorial as well. But it's pretty easy to do. Trust me. Like you just literally go into business.facebook.com and connect, integrate from there your Instagram, because Instagram's owned by Facebook. And then once that's done, then you'll see it appear through here automatically. Otherwise, it won't. And make sure that's all in play. And then as soon as you do that, and of course, you could always sync other properties as well. Like, for example, the account you pay, your Gmail, your Google My Business, so on and so forth. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a huge one you want to be able to automate nowadays, but that'll be for another time. And so on and so forth. You can also create like websites here, as you might have seen. I have a WordPress, so I haven't really needed to do that, but basically you can trigger it so that way you get an Instagram or a website all integrated into your Hexona. Let me try and show you the Instagram thing quickly if I can. So maybe I might not be able to show it, but let me see if I could try and DM myself, or let me see if I could go on to my account. I don't know if I could do it on the on like my desktop. I'll have to show it on my phone. But okay, actually it's right here. I didn't see it. So I made a little request right here. So I'm going to send a message to myself. Wealth by wisdom. Then I'm going to start chatting to myself. And I say, tell me a joke. So this is what the AI automation is going to be doing. So tell me a joke. See, it's already triggering it about AI. And see that trigger I did earlier on here on Hexona? Let me show you right here. If you go here, like Instagram Comedian Masterbot, by doing this and by making sure these procedures set in play, which they're not biggie, but if you check here execution, you can check to see what is exactly going through and what's not. And what's great about it is like essentially you can just see in real time if a message goes through or if you need to work out your workflows to make sure that they're going through or not. Because if they're not, then you're not getting any messages, and then it's defeating the purpose. So you want to make sure this is all syncing correctly and going through. And so tell me a joke about AI. Let me see if it responds to itself. It might not. I might, you know what I'm going to do? I might log into my email, to my personal account, but because I was able to reach out to it through here. Yeah, here. So, for example, I said, what about a GoHighLevel joke? I said, and this thing responded. I didn't send it. It sent it automatically. Let me see if I could try and log in to see it from a different perspective. Log out, go to my own email. It might give me an error. Bear with. So, anyways, going back, I was able to basically sync up different systems and following this course. And like I said, it's very straightforward. I highly recommend it. He's very helpful, and it's probably one of the courses out there that I would strongly suggest you get a hold of. And it teaches you sales, gives you ideas of what you need to do, and all that stuff. It's awesome with that. And then resource information. So as I was saying, going back to the phone system. So there's a whole registration procedure if you're from the US that you have to go through that they teach you, and they allow your chat, like if you have support, they can do it for you. You just have to submit a ticket for it. And like I said, it takes 2 to 4 weeks. So just be aware of that. Just be aware of that, because otherwise you're not going to be able to request it. Anyways, going back to what I was saying about Instagram, so I made an AI automation and I'm just waiting for this to occur. I created this whole workflow, right? As you can see, it's a trigger, customer reply, and I made ChatGPT involved with an AI bot shown with different prompts. And I don't think you need to connect your exact account. It depends. I'm a little fuzzy with that, but I was able to get create a prompt and basically telling a joke, and then waits for a minute or so on and so forth just to make it sound more natural, and then connects to my DM and gives a ChatGPT response. And how I know that this is working in real life is because I just sent right now. It's 11:50 something. It's 52, right? I was just saying, tell me a joke right here. I think for some reason my camera's not showing anymore. Tell me a traffic joke you see, and then it gives me a response. And this is because of this sequence. So if this sequence weren't around, I wouldn't be getting this real-time thing. So what I say, tell me a recording, Loom joke, which is what I'm recording through. And it'll take about a minute, but as you can see, the message went through, and it'll try and come up with a joke on that. And like I said, that's because of this. In the meantime, let's go through last a few other things about this course, and then I want to give you some presentation on how I learned about this course. So anyways, you can create websites, you can create media storage, you can do reputational management. So you can create a whole sequence of workflows like I did through that, and be able to automate so that way if you do like Google reviews or whatever, able to funnel people through different pipelines to give reviews and automate the sequence. Automate in terms of getting reviews and boost your business up and oust the competition. This is like only a test automation I worked on, and I was able to do it no problem. Oh, there I am. So I set it up through SMS, which of course you have to do a form if you're in the United States. It takes 2 weeks, but once that's done, you get this done. You sync your phone number, and by the way, it doesn't have to be through Hexona. You can use another phone burner like Grasshopper or a Dial, whatever. Or I think you can use your own phone number. I'm not too sure though. I'd be hesitant to say for sure. But like I said, use one of the phone numbers that is on a phone burner, connect it, and then you're able to send SMS text. And then, like I said, I made a quick rundown of what a reputational management looks like with the Google My Business. So this is just one of the ways that you can sequence it and get, like, for example, someone wants to give a 1-star review. You follow up with an SMS and then email, so ask the lead or what the client why you didn't hear or what was it that you want, rather than doing it manually, which will take forever. This whole software CRM is meant for you to do things that you don't en masse and in big loads so that way you don't have to. Just so you know, that's why this is here for. So that's just one example of that. Anyways, going back to our email here, you see the phone the joke right here that I sent. I just recorded it. It just gave me a response. So that was as a result of this Instagram comedian workflow. That's why that worked out. So why did the Loom refuse to record it? It couldn't handle all the threads of the conversation. So that actually is funny because that's literally what happened right now, and has happened many times with Loom, but it is what it is. Anyhow, so that is basically a top-down view just of your access to Hexona, which is a white label of GoHighLevel. You can create invoices, contracts, and all that sort. Reach out to individuals, all this in one, and they give you all sorts of information and documentation to be able to do so. Like I said, and you may be wondering, how did I find out about this course? Well, I found out through Lopez. Lopez is a big influencer who does all sorts of social media marketing and all that stuff. And he promotes this type of stuff through his following and all that. What's great about it is anyways, going back, so Lopez basically connects to all sorts of influencers, all sorts of realms and all that, whether it be social media, digital marketing, or real estate, or e-commerce, and AI automation is no different. And I purchased his course where he does go through. He has some lessons on Hexona, but he also has his own lessons on it because he uses GoHighLevel as opposed to the white label. I'm using the white label because I recommend it because I'm a beginner and it's already customized for the stuff that you need. But with his course, he gives you like all sorts of experts from everything in AI and teaches you everything you need to know. And in fact, some of the lessons that are on here that are on this are also on the school automation incubator. So as soon as I got access to his business, his course, I was able to get access to this as well. So you can create contracts, they provide you all the information, and you can just systemize and automate more easily than ever. So here's like a basic. So this part of it, the Lopez part of it, is more like a even bigger top rundown. It doesn't go into detail as much as like the Hamza's course, but it gives you more or less the whole thing and includes some of Hamza's courses. However, like I said, it's more like general. It's more like like it's to what you need to start with, and I think that's helpful in one way. Like for example, it gives you templates to send to like clients or customers that you need. Like for example, you could send a PDF contract here. They set it up for you, just to do that. So yeah, I don't know if you could see on my end here. Let me see if I can stop sharing. So they, like I said, they provide you all these like contractual agreements. I guess I wasn't able to show it. It's just showing on a PDF version of this, and for some reason not able to show you. But like I said, they give you actual documentation to start with templates and all that sort. That way you don't have to worry about creating and the legalities and the logistics involved with clients and all that sort. So like I said, this is one part of this is AI automation, and with Ty Lopez's course, and with as you also get access to Hamza's course. Hamza's more detailed version, which I went through at the beginning, but Ty's is more like a top down. And this, like I said, this video I'm showing you is just an overall what you get, and like I said, they show you how to do like get leads, different softwares to use, and all that sort. It's phenomenal to say the least, and I highly recommend you get into this if you want to take advantage of the AI revolution that's happening right now. Everybody talks about it. Not everybody knows how to use AI, and prompt engineers and prompting in general is just one of the things that needs work, and people often don't know how to do that and leverage what they have potential to do. Here's automation email. So this is a module set up for email marketing. Those of you who use like Aweber or whatever, even like I said, GoHighLevel is perfect for this. But like I said, just be cautious. Make sure you don't spam. That's what often the lessons I've learned. But yeah, this is basically this is AI automation rundown of not only Ty Lopez's course, which is just basically these four sequences. This part I just showed you. The third one was just how to scale. So I'd look at that later when you're successful with a few clients. But it's basically this and Hamza Baig's course on how to automate using Hexona and be able to use this white label GoHighLevel software to get clients and service your clients en masse without having to worry. So this is Digital Critiquer. Thank you for listening, and if you leave a comment, review, or critique on this, I appreciate it. This is just a top-down view of and a quick general view of AI automation of two courses, not one, two. One being the Automation Incubator, and the other being Ty Lopez Automation System, which as soon as you get one, which is the AI Automation System, you tend to get the Hamza Baig's Automation Incubator complimentary. Don't quote me on it though. I don't know if it'll change later on, but I don't know if it'll be charged as an extra. But for the most part, it's about getting that license and making sure you can automate and get your system at play. And like I said, uses ChatGPT to as a base for a lot of your automations. But hopefully in the future, it'll use other ones as well. Other AI automation softwares like 11 Labs or Midjourney, or I think I'm blanking out on the other ones. But yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe to Digital Critiquer. Thank you.